Some of you expressed concern about the length of these videos. For your convenience, check out the table of contents on the right-hand side. Feel free to start at the beginning and work your way through the video for some awesome in-depth insights. But if you see what you came for, or just want to see something over that you didn't catch the first time, please feel free. And as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hey guys, Shaft, the Clanning Casting Crew, and welcome to another episode of Crash Course, where we learn how to be a better gamer. Well, guys, we are going to be looking at a Zerg vs. Protoss. This is going to be a Roachling Hydra style, very, very reminiscent of Brood War, so of course, you know I'm excited. Either way, this is going to be a high economy trading game. This can work against Forge First or Gateway First. However, you are going to want to be doing a lot of scouting to find out what your opponent's doing, because there's a lot of nuances to this build. It's not going to be the opening build order that's very important. It's going to be more of a mid-game composition. So while you can still the opener here, and I will detail you exactly what the build order is, this will work for basically any opener that you're already used to, with one caveat. You're going to want to really pay attention to this gas, because how you open is going to be more dependent on what you scout than anything else. Bear in mind, this is not the best build for a map like Whirlwind, where you're not immediately going to know where your opponent is, therefore you're not going to be able to scout immediately. You might want to err on the side of caution, which would be this build here. This is going to be one of the safest possible builds, with one exception, and we will get into that. But without any further ado, we'll go ahead and hop into this game. This is going to be a 15 hatch opener, 17 gas, 16 pull, and that's you know, super standard. Okay, so here we go. 15 hatch, 16 gas, or 17 gas, 16 pull. Now let's talk a little bit about this gas, because should he scout Nexus first or Forge first, he's going to cancel this gas. However, this is a Gateway first game, as you can see here, and it's going to be this Overlord at, you know, roughly 3 minutes that's going to be able to tell, is there a pylon here? It's the pylon you want to look for, because Nexus first, you're not going to have a wall off here by this time. Pylon, though. Pylon. If you don't see that pylon, you know it's got to be Gateway or something super tricky that you probably want to watch out for. Either way, here we go. We've got the scouting time here. Actually, this is a really interesting scouting time, because you've still got 7 seconds here. So basically at exactly 3 minutes, you have the option of coming back here very quickly and canceling that gas. You with me so far? Alright, cool. So now the next thing you're going to want to scout really quickly is, how much does he mine? As you can see, he mines exactly 100, which is just enough for metabolic boost, and pulls these 3 off. The next thing we're going to want to look at is, why is that? Very easy. He's playing an economic game. He wants more drones. He'll make more drones if he's not mining gas. After all, drones don't cost any gas whatsoever. Alright, cool. Makes a lot of sense. Now, we are going to take a third here at 5 minutes. This is because we did scout that there was a Gateway first build. Gateway first means the mid-game economy of the Protoss player is going to be far weaker than it could be. Therefore, he has to do some kind of damage. The reason for all that, you know, is explained in great detail in our Forge First versus Gateway First segment of Crash Course way back when. You can always give that another look. It's still very relevant, despite being one of our earlier videos. That being said, you know, this would be like a 3-4 minute of expand. At this stage, he's taking a 5-minute expand, delaying it just a little bit so he can get out some extra stuff. Mostly it's the metabolic boost that delays this, though. Alright, so there we go. Now, here at 5.5 minutes, we've got some lings on the way, and we are also going to be poking with some other lings. Where are they at? Where is it in position? Oh, yep, here we go. Here's the 2 Zerglings. Yep. Okay, so there's one going up the ramp here. He's already counted these 2. and he's seen this Nexus, he's also seen this Gateway. Now, it's a little bit sloppy from Solar, because he's going to attack this Cyber Core rather than attacking the probe, but either way, he's not going to get into the main base like he would want. He really wants a gas count, but, you know, most Protoss are gonna have the 2 gases at this timing. What he really wants to see is, are there any other gateways? Is this like a 4 gate here at 5.5? Is this a 5 gate here at 5.5? Because this could be an all-in, at which time, you know, he's going to want to cancel this 3rd and just really defend on 2 bases. At which point, you know, he can retake the 3rd whenever, because his opponent's at such an economy deficit. As it is, he's gonna build some extra lings and some extra drones just to be super safe, because he can't really know what's coming at him. You know, as you can see, he was not able to get in there. So far, this is all the vision he's got. Not too much, but it's enough, and it's gonna be on the back of a lot of poking that he's going to be able to tell. Now, there is going to be some aggression. This is just a basic 3-gate harassment. But to be super safe, he's already got this Ling in position to scout around for this. Boom, there we go. We scouted that pylon almost as soon as it went down. It's not even going to have time to finish, and he'll be able to deal with that. The next big thing of importance here for our Zerg player is going to be holding these Zelnaga towers. Now, he's already got these 4 Lings intercepting this Stalker here, which does go ahead and play a role here, because this Stalker would have been reinforced by this pylon and could possibly kill this hatchery. If this hatchery dies at any point, Arthur has done enough damage that his gateway first was justified. He's still mixing in the Lings and the drones. He doesn't want to go all-out Ling production there, because he's not quite at the 44 drone mark he wants to be. 44 drones is going to be ideal saturation for 2 bases. However, it is at this point that he re-adds guys to gas. As you can see, he's mined 40 already. That's not too much, so you know, it was about 6 minutes he did that. And also about 6:09, so roughly 6 minutes again, he built the Roach Warren. The reason for this Roach Warren and for this extra gas being added on and this gas remining is, again, the potential for aggression. If the only units you have to deal with early gateway timing like this are speedlings, and you don't have spine crawlers in position, you're in a bad situation. However, Roachling does really well against gateway army compositions. Therefore, this will keep you safe if that's what you're up against. This is a Roachling Hydra style we're going for. However, it begins with Roachling. You're going to continue poking with Lings all throughout this, but 6.5 minutes, a very good time to do this Ling poke. He's got 5 Lings going in here. And as you can see, he's going to scout this mothership core coming out. If the mothership core is not parked here over this, you're going to be scared at this point. Why? Because you never have a Protoss attack without a mothership core. Therefore, if you can scout the mothership core, you know you're safe, you know you can make drones. Beautiful thing. Even if you don't get into this position, just scouting the mothership core tells you everything you need to know. And you can immediately see him pulling off as soon as he's seen that mothership core. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright, so he's free to go home now for a while. The Roach Warren's preparation for anything between a 6:45 minute timing attack all the way up to a 9.5 minute timing. Anything in between those 2 points could occur, but what he wants to keep an eye on is this 3rd and this natural ramp. And here at 7 minutes, we're beginning a Lair. You know, it's roughly 7 minutes. Lair are going to be very important for this style because of burrow, because of roach speed, because of +1 range, and ultimately for the 10-minute Hydralisk den. Now, this style will be a launching platform for a Mutalisk style. However, a lot of the scouting that we're doing from now, from that 6.5 minute timing to the 9.5 minute timing, will be determining when you get the Spire and how you get the Spire. The idea of the Roachling Hydra is to trade up into Mutalisks, keeping Stalker counts down, keeping, well, if you open Roachling Hydra, even if your opponent opens Stargate, he's not going to make as many Phoenixes as he would if you open Spire. Phoenix are hard counter Mutalisks, and you're at a deficit if you open Spire and immediately get shut down by Phoenixes. Say you do an 8-minute Spire, yeah, that's immediate shutdown. Your economy is drained. You've got too much gas. You're just in a bad spot. As it is, Solar is keeping his gas count down. Well, this is, 2 gas here is pretty normal for now. But he's going to saturate this third somewhat, just based on the poking up rather than trying to go super, super greedy, risking it, the Spire, which is actually vulnerable to some of these earlier game gateway timing attacks. So he's playing safe, doing Roachling Hydra to again stay safe, and then jumping from Roachling Hydra into the Spire. Alright, so you're going to see Lings just camped out here, and again, that could be a Ling run by if there wasn't a Zealot here, and if the Mothership Core wasn't there. But he's going to see the Mothership Core, try to do a little bit of poking here on the pylon, but his opponent's paying some attention, so he's just going to run away. Cool. He even sees the Forge. Great stuff. Now, there is a Robo Facility on the way, so of the situations where Spire first works, like, the opening, say, the 8-minute Spire, Robo Facility is your best bet. But it's Robo Facility without an all-in twist. So again, this is a great scenario for Solar style. This is ultimately going to be an Immortal Sentry on 8 gates plus Robo, and he's even going to try and fly sentries in with a Warp Prism here at the ramp. But that's going to be later in the game. Right now, it's just kind of a setup period. Bear in mind, Burrow, Roach Speed, +1 ranged, all important here. So at 7:45, there's this the Evolution Chamber, and then 10-minute Hydra Den. At which point he'll take his final 2 gas. Right now, he's only parked on. Yep, he's taking that 3rd gas. That 3rd gas was built 21 seconds ago. So 7:45, 7.5, somewhere around in there. Usually, about halfway into the lair is the key timing, and then 3/4 through the lair, you'll begin your your 4th gas, and then at 10 minutes when you begin the Hydra Den, you'll get the final 2 gas. Alright, so with Hydra Den, we've got with Lair, we've got the Glial Reconstitution and +1 Zerg missile attacks being researched. Interestingly enough, this will be the only +1 missile attacks you get, and that's only because of the Hydra Roach being such a big part of this composition. After this, you're going to go for Carapace, then you're going to go for +1. The order can vary, but you're going to stick mostly on the 111 ground upgrades and then +1 flying attack. The rest of your gas is going to be going into Mutalisks, Hydralisks, and Roaches throughout the remainder of this style, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. You're just using the Roaches and the Hydralisks to stay alive and to trade up into the Mutalisks with a killer 8 gas economy. Alright. So, we got the Roaches, we got the Lings, there's the Burrow, and... Alright, so what's going on here on the map? We've got the Zelnaga Towers being cleared off a little bit. This is a little bit of a tell. When the Mothership Core comes out like this, if it's not parked at home, something's happening. And of course something's going to happen because, well, the +1 attack is finishing. So, that's another good tell. Well, Lings show up because the Mothership Core was out of position. He has 16 Lings right here because the Mothership Core is out of position. He wants to check this ramp. If there wasn't a bunch of stuff blocking this ramp, he could cause all kinds of devastation here. Well, it's 9.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and get a gateway count. That's 2, that's 3, that's 5. Alright, so we're at 5 gates, 9.5 minutes. Cool. Robo Facility pumping out Immortals. Cool. Great, great. Hey, IXL Hunter. How you doing, bro? In case anyone's wondering, that's 9th Legion Run Amok. Great guy. Great guy. And bear in mind, here at this stage in the game, you want to be pumping out Overlords 2 or 3 at a time. Roach is very, very, very food heavy, so always have excess food. Excess Overlords. Mothership Core out of position. We've already had... Check this out. I didn't catch that on camera the first time because of the Mothership Core. But check this out. Slow it down a little bit. Boom. Alright, so here's the Warp Prism. Already scouted due to these Zanaga towers being occupied by Zerglings. Sentries. Ramp. This is the only thing that's going to be reinforcing with the defense. So already having the roaches in position, beautiful. Why did he have the roaches? Well, he was able to get up to 60 drones just based off the mothership core being parked here. Seeing the mothership core parked here, he knows he's safe to get up to this drone count. But at that point, he does Roachling because he's not sure. And there we go. There's the sentry's force field. Only 2 roaches actually get up here, but there's all these roaches here. So there's already a queen. Okay, too many units. I'm scared as a Protoss player. Mothership core, a little bit sloppy, gonna take some shots off the queen, but ultimately, you know, it's all gonna get away. Now the Lings are parked here on the gas because he doesn't want the Lings to get caught in this little fiasco here going on in the main and natural. He wants this to be A, a counterattack force, and B, a sandwich force. By sandwich force, I mean the roaches and later on the hydras will engage here. Say there was a timing attack like right here on this overlord. Say the Protoss army was parked there. Roaches will engage here. Lings are going to engage from behind to stop the kiting. Well, as it is, it's 10 minutes into the game. There's a Zergling parked right here. Ultimately, when Burrow finishes, he'll burrow that because, you know, Burrow's super annoying. You have to get a cannon up, which means the pylon has to finish, then the cannon. Then finally, once the units finally killed off, then you can build a Nexus. And of course, if you go for an Observer, that'll help as well. But check it out. Units tab, no Observer. That Warp Prism took a while, and then the Mortals as well. An Observer would set this timing attack so far back that it wouldn't be worth doing. Alright, so Ling's continuing to poke. He wants to make sure he sees the Warp Prism. Alright, so he's going to make Hydras. He's going to get the Hydra range. He's still staying around 62 drones, though. Nothing too greedy, nothing too greedy. And good force fields, but just wasting some energy. Probably not the best idea right here with just Lings. Didn't really kill too many off, and the ones he did weren't that valuable. But Warp Prism's coming on down. So this is basically turning into an all-in. So the Mothership Core is parked here. We've got the Ling burrowed here. The fact that it's 11.5 minutes, this is a very high caliber play, and that there's still no third, which... What was timing on the third? 9.5 to 10 minutes. So 11.5 minutes. That's, whoa, 2 minutes late? 1.5 to 2 minutes late? Yeah, okay, this must be an all-in. That's what's going on through the Zerg mind right now. So how many gates? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 gate, Immortal Sentry, all in. There's the Observer, there's the Warp Prism, there's the Ling scouting the Warp Prism, and ultimately a pylon will be here as well. Alright, so just going on through this. Now, one final giveaway that the Ling poking, constant Ling poking, will ultimately tell Solar in this game is this wall off. Again, there's no third, and now there's a complete wall off that prevents Ling run-bys. Well, there's been a lot of gateway units, and in fact, check it out, this is starting to mine out. See how these... this natural is starting to mine out for both players? Well, this is even more indication that this is going to be an all-in for Solar. Or against Solar, rather. Alright, so the Ling's getting cleared now. Overlord's getting cleared. Lots of good stuff. There's the Warp Prism. And here's a little bit of a mistake. I think Arthur maybe should have gone ahead and tried to kill Solar here. He doesn't have quite as many units as he will, you know, when the Lynx and the rest of these Hydras pop out. But, you know, these rocks are important. It's going to be very important for a concave, help with the force fields. There's actually 12 sentries here, so force field's definitely not an issue. There's a pylon going down. And this is actually going to be a little bit of a liability here. Notice that, the range is upgraded, but the movement speed isn't. We've got movement speed on the way, and we're on creep, so we're okay. But this is definitely a defensive Hydra as opposed to an offensive Hydra right now. And we're going to want to trade up. So, yeah, this is actually looking pretty okay for Arthur. There's not very much Zerg stuff here, and if he can snipe down this Hydralisk den, he's going to be in great position. Alright, So we'll poke him back and forth, good force fields, it's battle down so you guys can check it out. Basically just buying a bunch of time. You can see the Lings back here. They're poking back and forth, just trying to draw some aggro so that this buys some time for this. Just buying time, wasting some energy, wasting force fields, got it, so on and so forth, good time work. And there's the mothership core. Check that out. That looks like a friggin' center of an atom or something, dude. But anyways, this Hydra den nearly goes down, so we build another one. Hydra definitely the backbone of this army, mostly Hydraling being produced right now, a couple roaches every now and then. And it's very important to stay on creep, by the way, guys, because you're never going to get Hydralisks to a creep if they're not a creep. But now he's got the movement speed, so it doesn't even matter. We're forcing the Protoss back quite a bit. And actually, this is looking really, really good for our Zerg. Not only is he ahead economically, but his opponent is all in so hard, he has really no chance of actually being able to stick a third. There's no retreat here for the Protoss because of the movement speed upgrade for the Hydralisks, and these force fields are allowing Hydralisks to get a pretty amazing conflict. And there goes the Warp Prism. Immortals actually getting targeted down now, and that's actually going to be GG. Arthur definitely playing a strong game, but Solar proving himself to be the better player. So yes, scouting the aggression coming from the Protoss player, Solar, our Zergy McFerguson, chose to use defensive Hydralisks to help him stay alive rather than going for that 10-minute Spire. It's 15 minutes, 23 seconds. There is still no Spire in this game. That is all because of his scouting information. Now we're going to flip to a late game scenario on Yansu of Solar vs. Trend, where he does begin the 10-minute Spire. What you're going to notice is he's still doing Roaches, he's still doing Lings, he's still doing Hydralisks, because these units are really, really strong against Protoss. And you can trade even against Colossi. Basically, Colossi, unless they have a buffer of like Stalkers and Zealots in front of them that they can run past and kind of kite into, they're not that good. Roachling Hydra can easily kill that off if there's not a bunch of units. Small number of Protoss units are very vulnerable to large numbers of Zerg units. That's just the way this works. However, Colossi does AoE, so large number of Zerg units ultimately will become bad against Colossi. So we add in Corruptors. That's the reason for the Spire, initially. You can combat for air superiority. However, that's only one option. You also have the option of doing a complete and instant tech switch into the Mutaling style. And that's what we're going to see in this next game, with a lot of good Ling run-bys, a lot of good stuff like that, and ultimately seeing, you know, why Mutalisks really shut down that robo-play. And, you know, once you have a large number of Mutalisks, a flock of Mutalisks, a gaggle of Mutalisks, you can really do a lot of damage because of the bounce. The DPS of your opponent just kind of melts, and ultimately you're left with a pretty sustainable victory. Alright, on to the next game, guys. See you on the flip side. And welcome back to the flip side, guys. So, basically, in this game so far, we're at 8 minutes now. So, there's not been a move out with that Stalker like we saw last game. There's not been a pylon placed at the third. There's been a lot less aggression from our Protoss player. He still opened up Gateway first, though, so we still opened Zerg with gas. Same other things have occurred as in the last game. We're at 8 minutes now. He's at about 50 drones. And this is going to be where the Lair finishes up. He's already got the 2 extra gas on the way. So he's sitting on roughly 3 gas, about to be 4 gas. Actually, you know, that gas might have been a little bit late, but it's okay. He's the expert. He probably knows a little bit more than me. But anyways, we're at about 8:10. He builds the Hydra Den, which is different than before, because remember, he had a 10-minute Hydra Den in that first game. Now, remember I said there was no Stalker move out, there was no pylon at the third, So what this means for Solar is he's been able to drone earlier, mine more with fewer drones, and get the Hydra Den a little bit earlier. At this point, he's already back up to 57 drones. And he's making, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more. Okay, so his opponent has gone for Phoenix. So this is also a little bit less pressure on him, because Phoenix are annoying. They can pick up queens, they can pick up drones, they can target things down. You really need 4 of them to kill a queen, though, so it takes a little bit of time. In fact, we only have 3 Phoenix here, so no queens are getting killed. But Phoenix aren't going to apply direct pressure. You can literally just remake the drones they kill and end up ahead. So, yeah, you're not in any danger of dying, therefore you're Zerg, so you're going to come out on top. Well, the reason for the Hydra Den. Phoenix aren't really going to do anything to you. You just laugh, melt, Phoenix, boom, GG. No ashes for you. Okay, so, yes, we've got an earlier Hydra Den. This is going to be followed up by a 10-minute Spire. Roach Hydra, again, just really, really strong against basically everything that's not Colossi. And then Corruptors do really well against Colossi. That's one avenue you can take. But this avenue, this one we're talking about here, is going to be a mass Mutalisk style. So let's just go ahead and, zoom through this replay times 4 speed. Seems like it's reasonable. And, yeah, here we go. Phoenix just kind of being annoying. Let's drop that time too. Okay, so we've got the Immortals on the way. That's mostly just because the Robo Facility finished. Robo Facility has to be finished before the Robo Bay can be begun. You can see the difference in the timing. See 20 seconds, 14 seconds. There's a 6-second difference between the Mortal when the Mortal began as soon as Robo Facility finished and the Robo Bay itself. And the thing about that also is there's a chrono boost on this, so it actually would have worked out that the Immortal was begun, then the Robo Bay almost immediately, because those Colossi are so important. Okay, so we've got a bunch of Hydralisks on the way. Queen's getting kicked off now. Finally got 4 of them here. But the Hydralisks are showing up. So, yes, Phoenix go home. Phoenix go home. Phoenix run home. And yeah, there's that Spire we were talking about, guys. And there's just not a lot going on. It's still 10 minutes. So we've got Solar poking in here saying, hey, bro, you building a Nexus or anything here at this third? Nope, nothing yet. So he's probably starting to get a little bit scared. Gonna make an Overseer because he's getting scared, which is beautiful. Overseers are great. Just throw it into your opponent's base. Hope it doesn't die, but even if it dies, I mean, it's just an Overseer. Make an extra Overlord, you'll be fine. Alright, so take a look at the upgrades. We got +1 range on the way. Yeah, basic standard stuff. Roachling Hydra. Moving on across the map, just applying pressure. Basically, it's this 10 to 11 minute timing offensively for Solar now. He's not been really aggressed against. Yeah, there's been Phoenix, but Phoenix don't really hurt you. They just, we've covered that. So you're moving out, attacking into your opponent, forcing an engagement. Phoenix can't hurt you. He's invested a lot of money in Phoenixes. Therefore, it's going to be a lot harder for him to hold that third. Phoenix make it really, really, really hard to hold a third, actually. So, Solar's just going to buy time. He's not going to try and force his way down Trend's throat, through the natural, say, ooh, I'm going to hit this natural or die trying. No. He's just going to zone himself, position himself to make Trend have to work harder to take a third. Watch. And you can see the Zerg units just trying to kind of rally a little bit. Good Ling run buys, always. See, caught that Zealot out of position. No sentry there to force field. So now he's going to get scouting information, maybe even be able to harass a little bit. Just beautiful stuff, man. Beautiful stuff. Doesn't actually target down any croaks, but he's got all that scouting information. So that's 4 gateways, 5 gateways, 6 gateways. 12 minutes in. We had 8 gateways, 10 minutes, I think, last game? So yeah. Just huge difference. He knows he's in a good situation. And that's why he builds a 4. Alright, so Void Rays are going to be on the way now. 4 trend. Now, why does he build Void Rays? Seems like a Void Ray would not be that good against the Hydralis. Well, remember I kept saying Roach Hydra Corruptor is a thing? Well, it's a thing, man. Corruptors don't do that well against Void Rays. So he's preparing for something that he hasn't scouted yet, and that's gonna hurt him. Yet the thing is, there's already Corruptors on the way. Corruptors are a good transition to clear off the Phoenixes. So, yes, you know, Roach Hydra Corruptor, just for a moment. This time, it's also pretty interesting because we got the Zerg missile attacks level 2 on the way. Usually it's 1-1-1. I think this might have been a mistake, but we'll find out. So we do have an established third here, 4 trend, but Solar's not going to try and commit too hard to this. He just wants to know it's there and delay it if possible. And here's the Roaches, here's the Corruptors, here's the Hydras. Corruptors, going to wipe the floor with the Phoenix, but also with the Colossi. So that's going to make the Hydralisks even more devastating later. And there we go. Good hallucinations actually, forcing the wrong Colossi to be targeted, but Solar paying way too much attention for that to actually work. And there's the Motion Core. No, he didn't get the Motion Core. Turn around, kill it with the Corruptors. No. Alright, so. That was not a good engagement for Solar. Units lost tab speaks volumes towards that. They were closer, a lot closer to even before that attack than after. However, he's Zerg. He's also a base ahead, as a Zerg should be. Therefore, he doesn't have to worry about being as cost effective as his opponent. In fact, just forcing that trade, just forcing that engagement, he's able to come out ahead in the sense that he's got the +1 flying attack on the way. He's bought some time. He's eliminated some of the Colossi. He's reset his opponent's tech. If he resets his opponent's tech, well, his opponent isn't a Zerg player. He can't just warp in as much tech as he wants. Think about the way Zerg production works. You hit inject, all your stuff comes from the same stuff. So if you want 12 infestors, it's no different than making 12 roaches. However, only having 1 robo facility, he can only make 1 colossi at a time. So, resetting that counts puts you worlds and worlds ahead. Just keep that in mind. And there's a +1. Okay, so it looks like there was a cancel on the +2. The reason he would have started that +2 ranged is just on the off chance that he wanted to commit to the Roach Hydra style. Again, this style gives you a lot of options, especially in the mid game. But he realized, hey, +1 flying attack, +1 melee, I can go all out Mutaling, and maybe even force a base race. When you do this Mutaling switch off the Roachling Hydra, you are pretty much saying, hey, base race me. So you need to be ready for that. Oh, by the way, this game took place before the Arthur match. As you can see here, according to Donathan of the Zotac Cup, Arthur just beat Burning 2-1. Therefore, the winner of this match will go up against Arthur. Well, we just saw Solar play Arthur, so guess who wins this match? Hint, hint. Alright, so we've got 12 Mutalisks on the way. He's building 12 Mutalisks at once. That means this bank was pretty darn big there for a while. He wants the 8 gas before going into the Mutalisk style. He was sitting on 6 gas, banked up, got a 4th, and is now pumping out the Mutalisks with upgrades and just rocking out like a boss. A little bit of a warp in here, no real big deal. And there's the Overseer, just being super careful. Blink on the way, and we're still making Mutalisks. So, check it out. Mutalisks being super annoying, just going to go ahead and pillage these probe lines, and even targeting down tech. So, this is Blink Stalker tech. Guess what? Blink Stalkers actually do really well against Mutalisks, since it increases their mobility quite a bit. By targeting down this Twilight Council, not only does it cost gas to build the building itself, but it's going to reset that research. And good corrupts actually there. Really lowers that DPS of those stalkers, which means Mutalists are gonna just destroy them even more. Now the next thing he targets down is this Cyber Core, because think about it, if you're in a base race against an opponent, that opponent not being able to have anti-air seems like a pretty darn good idea. And just watching this game kind of get cleared up a little bit, you can see the just humongous number of Mutalists. And these Mutalists were able to be gotten on the back of a Roachling Hydra style. Hopefully it's beginning to make sense how one leads into the other. Use the Roachling Hydra to be aggressive while setting up 3 to 4 bases. Build a bank, build a spire, build Mutalists, win game. Very, very simple, guys. Mutalists is so... And check it out. Stalker's going down, Trend drops the GG, and we have ourselves a victor. Alright guys, so we're going to be moving on into the what the heck do you do when you get cannon rushed phase of the game. And I'll catch you there. Hey guys, finally to wrap this up, we are going to be taking a look at a what the fuck situation. This is going to be a cannon rush, which is something that you're going to want to keep an eye out for, especially if you're scouting the opponent going Forge first, especially, but you know, it's also something that could happen going Nexus first. This is even more potent against a player like Solar, who has already shown a disposition towards liking the hatchery first opener, which can indeed be very, very, very weak against a player doing this strategy. So we still got this Overlord. Let's just speed it on up. You can easily see there's the pylon. And by the way, this is Con Solar, so not a player to be dismissed too lightly. So there's the Forge, but as you can see, you know, Trend is already playing the player. He knows his opponent likes to hatchery first, and this is Polar Knight after all, so why not cannon first? So here's the cannon rush. Notice, it's 2.5 minutes. Solar's about to scout it. There's the Forge. And let's come over here. Let's even slow this down to faster speed. As soon as he sees that Forge, as soon as he notices it, really. Watch what happens. There we go. There's the cancellation. Now, this is something you should do anytime you are in Solar's position. 30 minutes, you scout a Forge. You should take a drone and just go patrol near your hatchery. Like, you don't have to use the patrol command, but, you know, send a drone. Right along this path. Oh, there's no pylons, let's go home. You know, switch to a macro game. But in this case, guess what? There's a pylon. So here we go. You can watch it happen. Yeah, so go straight here to the probe, realizes what's going on. Oh, 2 cannons, 2 cannons. Wow, there's no way he's going to be able to pull enough drones to stop this photon cannon. He could have scouted a little bit sooner with that probe, or with that drone, but he had no way of knowing for certain, you know, whether that Forge was up. Now, it did take him like 10 to 12 seconds to realize the Forge was up, so if he had been a little bit more on point, he would have saw that, canceled the gas, and then gone here. But as it is, he does make a good decision. It's hard to say whether this is the right decision in all circumstances, but it is at least one method of dealing with this situation. Alright, so watch very, very carefully, because this gets complicated. It gets very, very complicated. Alright, so here's the complicated part. He's going to let it get really, really close to finishing and cancel. That's it. That's it. That's all he's worried about. Basically, 100 minerals. Believe this is 150. Let me double check. Yeah. I have no way of double checking it right now, but that's fine. I believe it's 150. So this is an investment of 250 minerals. yeah, that's already pretty expensive. That's almost a hatchery. As you can see, you know, we lost 75 there with solar canceling that, but he immediately rebuilds this hatchery over here. So if Trend wants to do any damage to this hatchery over here, he's going to have to come over here, build another pylon, build another cannon, which means his pool will have time to finish, which means the Lings can get over there to really intercept it. That's going to be what's happening next, and we can even see this drone coming over here and just building another one. So he's very, very committed to this 3-base style, and he's getting this 3rd base way, way earlier because it is a Forge First. Now, if you're not used to like the adaptation between Gateway First and Forge First, go check out that earlier episode of Crash Course I was talking about on mapping out the Gateway expand, because it will definitely explain some things to you. And just taking a look around here, there does not appear to be any more probes being made, but we do have those Lings gonna patrol around just to make absolutely sure. And you can't really blame it. Good splits though. He's double checking both bases because he wants to be super safe. What he's doing right now is trying to bait out more cannons just to make his opponent spend money. He's still not making gas. He's just content to stay on drones. He's not worried about, you know, massive amount of zealots being warped in. There's no gas for his opponent yet either. You can see the gas is only just now actually completing for his opponent. So he's not worried about the warp ends. He's not worried about proxy. He's just worried about the cannons. Why does he need gas for his cannons? He doesn't, quite simply. Alright. He's basically going to have the same plan from this point on. Just stay alive against this. He doesn't want to leave. One thing that he has to be super careful about is not to let this stay alive too long, because once warp research does finish, this is a liability. But he'll get rid of it. Yeah, guys, this is kind of the wrapping up of this. I just want you to see how he's handling himself in this situation. He gets the double gas, completely standard, completely standard. He's just modifying his opener based on what he scouts. And I just heard a pilot being built. Where was it? I know I heard a pilot. Ah, there it is. Alright, so we've got a little bit of aggression coming here. There's the Lings, though. Another pylon. So, yes, this is a timing attack a little bit here from Trent. He'll be applying a little bit of pressure to his 3rd base, even slapping out an Overlord. Doesn't supply block Berserker, though, so all is cheap. And a little back and forth action, but Roachling does really, really well against gateway armies. And ultimately crushes that Protoss force. And as you can see, you know, he's pretty much finishing up that Lair now. He's got another hatchery on the way. He's eliminating all of this, which is good. And he's just keeping some map pressure on his opponent. He's basically going to delay this 3rd for as long as possible. As you can tell, it's 11 minutes. Remember, he wants that 3rd by 9.5 or 10 when he goes Gateway First. Usually it's going to be about 8 minutes when you go Forge First or Nexus First. So we've got a huge delay in Trend's plan as well, on the back of his two failed aggressions. The Cannon Rush and then this warp in here that was at the 3rd of Solar. I'm going to call this the 3rd, by the way. Kind of hard to say which one was the 3rd when they were both built at the same time. And we have another little aggression. This guy's showing himself to really like the Mortal Sentry. And pretty good force field and whatnot there, but we're still just doing the Roachling thing. Roachling. So let's take a look at something. There's actually not a Hydra Den right now. Looks like it might have been a little bit of a mistake. Possibly. But a lot of time, Roachling is all that's really necessary in these situations. Yet, it makes it really hard to hold a 3rd. You'll stay alive, but it makes it really hard to hold a 3rd. You have to really avoid the force fields and stay on top of your macro, which is why he actually Maynarded off most of his workers there. And then some other ones did get killed, but as it is, you know, he's just trying to stay alive, keeping the skull alive. Trying to target down that mothership core, that's a huge part of what keeps this force in play. But the purpose will ultimately be chased back, and their economies are roughly the same here. We still have not destroyed the third. He stopped it from mining for a while, but he hasn't destroyed it yet, which means our Zergy McFerguson is still a little bit ahead. But that's a huge timing attack right there. Hydra's on the way. We see the Grooved Spines. We got the +2 on the way. So this could be Roach Hydra Corruptor with that +2 on the way. Hard to say, hard to say. But, yeah, we're just waiting on that ZvP'er. It'll come eventually. Unless, of course, his opponent attacks and dies before that. Looks like this is going to be the Immortal Century. Oh, by the way, as you can tell, Solar's still doing the same plan. Roachling Hydra is his backbone, and then he leapfrogs from that into, you know, the Roach Hydra Corruptor, or the Roachling, the Ling Mutalisk. So either way, he's still going to be doing the same strategy. It's just after having to react to his opponent, his builds are delayed. But so are his opponents, so it ends up evening out. Still no third, by the way, for Trend. So Trend is putting a little bit of pressure here into the main. And likewise for Hydra's actually taking a lot of shots there. Good force field. It's a good force field. Will make a party jealous, I think. But either way, Trend gonna go ahead and kill off this third. Solar actually managing to clean up most of the tech there. Warp Prism goes down from Moles taking a lot of damage. Still haven't died yet, though. Really trying to figure out how to die. The Immortal hasn't died. It just doesn't seem like. Anyway. Yep. Alright, so guys, you can basically see that this is going to play out with all the aggression and whatnot. It's got 5 minutes left in this game. I don't think we're going to see the ZvP'er. But, we did see the Roachling Hydra. All 3 games. Roachling Hydra. Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. It gives you the flexibility to go where you want to go. You can establish that 3 to 4 base heavy gas income, and then, you know, shift where you need to. Right now, Solar is only on 2 bases, which means he's only on 4 gas. Actually, not even on 4 gas as a unit. Apparently targeted down these gas geysers. Actually, wow, no, I'm crazy. He never took these gas geysers. Okay, probably on the back of all that aggression, he didn't have time to take the geysers, therefore hurting his you know, his Roach and Hydra count. But you can see, just based on the way this game developed, because, you know, this base did kind of have to get canceled and these 2 have to be built. It was here that he had his, so he was, okay, sorry, so this is 3rd gas, 4th gas, 1st gas, 2nd gas. Okay, cool. He just didn't have the gas there in the main. Alright, so that makes a little more sense. He's doing the Roach Hydra on 2 gas, and then, or on 4 gas rather, and then as soon as he hits the ZvP'er with the Mutalisk, he likes 6 to 8 gas. So yeah, that makes sense. He hasn't been able to establish the 3rd, much less the 4th. So yeah, thus we see no ZvP'er. We also saw a lot of aggression, so it delayed the ZvP'er. Don't be so stuck on timings that you forget that there's other considerations, maybe things that would delay you, that you just have to react to from your opponent. Anyways, guys, hopefully this helped out a little bit. This is Shaft of the Planet Casting Crew. If you like this, please, you know, subscribe to the channel, give us a plus like on this video. Check out some of our other videos and like those as well. Share them with your friends. Get the word out there. We're definitely trying to promote this channel a little bit, get you know, a lot of views, and maybe, you know, make a lot of Zergs happy. Owning up the ladder ranks. I'd be, you know, super proud to see the next 5 GSLs won by all Zerg players. So hopefully we can make that happen, guys. Anyways, this is Shaft. Thanking you all for being so awesome enough to tune in, and signing out. Bye-bye.
Oh, hi, guess what? I got some bad news. He's still here and he's in a real bad mood. This for you trash dudes. With your shit play, whack motherfuckers never had a real game. 8 minutes into the match and it's crunch time. Brace yourself, I'm only saying this one time. I survived the all-in, and I'm looking at you cheesy fucks like it's lunchtime. It's the punchlines mixed with the micro. I might go Michael Myers and leave him with a slice throat. Thank him for the blowjob and hang him from a tightrope. Pro sucking my dick like it's lipo. I'm a psycho and this is what it really takes. All killing teams like Norman Bates. Smashing everything from bang room busts to 4 gates. Call them easy drop mules and ask them how the floor tastes.